Hello, this is Paulet Downey, and I'm here with a skincare minute. So today I'm going to be talking about the ingredient hyaluronic acid and its purpose and how best to use it. So, as many of you all probably know, hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times its weight in water. Hyaluronic acid is found in our skin, so it's in the dermis level, along with collagen and fiber. I can't speak. Collagen and elastins. Collagen is in the fiber. Anyway, so those are found. Those are all found at the dermis level of the skin. So before I actually talk about hyaluronic acid and the purpose of it and how it should be used, let me go and talk about skin itself so that you have a better understanding of why we use hyaluronic acid and how it works. So with the skin, first of all, when we talk, we need hydration. Our bodies need water. So we need to constantly be giving our bodies water in order for us to be hydrated, in order for our organs to be hydrated and function the way they should, as well as for us to have healthy looking skin. But drinking 8 glasses of water, 12 glasses of water, 16 glasses of water a day is, although it's going to hydrate us internally, although it's going to hydrate us at the lower levels of our skin, it is not going to reach far enough to hydrate the outer layer of our skin. So by the time the water reaches to the outer layers of our skin, it's getting 10%. It's getting 10%. No matter how much water we take in our body, it is only receiving 10% of that water. And for drier skins, even less. So at the basal layer, or the germinating layer, so that's the lower layer of the epidermis, it is made up of 80% water. But when we get to the top layer, the outer layer of the skin, it is only made up of 10% water. So this is why it's so important that we, hydrate the skin with products, because drinking, no matter how much you drink, you're not going to get those outer layers of the skin. And the outer layer of the skin is the most exposed part of our bodies to the environment and everything that is coming at it. So it is the part that needs the water the most. The internal organs, but from a skincare point, the external needs it simply because to protect it from injury, to protect it from soluble water from seeping into the skin, or soluble, I should say, liquids from seeping into the skin, as well as from bacteria. Pathogens, anything that's going to cause the skin harm. So it needs protection, because our outer layers of our skin, that's our first defense in protecting us internally in the rest of our skin. So when we're talking about the outer layer of the skin, like I said, 80% water is at the basal level, and then as we go up to the top level of the epidermis, so now I'm talking epidermis here, then we're dealing with 10%. So with a healthy skin, that is what you're going to have, 10% on the outer layer. This, of course, is if it's in a perfect environment. So if the skin is in an environment where the humidity is 80 plus, then the skin is going to be at its optimum in terms of hydration. Of course, for a drier skin, at the surface level, the outer layers of the skin, it's going to be less than 10%. So if it's a drier skin, a more mature skin, it is most likely going to be less than 10%. But in like 80 plus humidity, then our skin is going to be at its optimum in terms of hydration and what's on it, like from moist point. When the hydration level dips below, or when the humidity level dips below 80%, that's when the outer layer of the skin is in danger of, because the water levels drop at the of the outer skin, the epidermis or stratum corneum, the technical term of the skin. So the water level, the percentage of it, it drops after the humidity level goes below 80%. So that's when now the skin is becoming in danger, because now the skin is becoming unprotected, because the water begins to leave. Whatever kind of water and oils now begin to leave the skin, leaving the skin open to it cracking. And then once it cracks, that's when bacteria can get in. That's when pathogens can get in. And that's when you can see things like early signs of aging begin to take place on the skin. So in order to protect our skin, we need to have skincare products that are going to do the work and hydrate the skin so that it can remain hydrated and protected, and fight off all the things that are coming at it, protect it from injury and everything that I mentioned earlier. So this is where we bring hyaluronic acid into the mix here. So as I mentioned, hyaluronic acid, it holds 1,000 times its weight in water. It is, like I said, found in the dermis, at the dermis level of our skin. So there are actually 5 levels of hyaluronic acid, and in some readings even 7. But I'm just going to go into 3 levels of, for skincare purpose, of the types of the levels that are available for consumers to use on their skin. So the low molecular hyaluronic acid, that one is for a more oily skin. So that one's going to go deep into the epidermis, reaching the top layers of the dermis, simply because the molecular structure of it is very small. So it's allowed to do that. So that's for an oily skin. When we're talking about the middle molecular structure for hyaluronic acid, then that's of course medium. So that is going to not hit the dermis level, but it's going to penetrate deep into the epidermis. So we're still dealing with the top layer here. And then finally, the high molecular structure of a hyaluronic acid, that is basically going to set on the outer layer of the skin. So that, of course, is for a drier skin. So the one in the middle would be more for a normal skin type. So, of course, like, which one is better? Well, basically, depending on your skin type, you should go with the one that is best for you. So for an oily skin type, having a one that has a high molecular structure, like hyaluronic acid, that's going to be too much for someone who has an oily skin. With the high one, it doesn't penetrate as deep. Like I said, it's just sitting on the face. So, but that one, for an oily skin, it's going to be too much. And I know in a lot of cases with oily skin more than the other two types of skin. Sometimes, because of the products that you're using on your skin tends to feel very, very dry. Now, I know this myself for myself. When I was younger and my skin was terribly oily. So the products that I was using on my skin naturally was to help to minimize the oil on my skin. But with an oily skin and with the ingredients that are in skincare products for oily skin, it tends to strip the natural oils from your skin, leaving it very dry and dehydrated. So oftentimes an oily skin can actually be more dehydrated than a drier skin simply because of the products that they are using on their skin. But still, regardless of that, uh, a serum or whatever it is for a high molecular structure hyaluronic acid would still be too much for oily skin, and it would make it feel like it's almost suffocating. So in order to help that oily skin, you would need a smaller molecular structure going into the skin, going deep into the skin, and also like that's doing the work, like penetrating, of course, at the lower layers. So it's helping the skin from the layers that it's going to right up to the stratum corneum, which is the outer layer of the skin. But you do want to use an oil, you want to use a low one for your skin, and that will help with the dehydration that you are experiencing from the products that you are using on your skin to minimize the oils that are on it. So, of course, with somebody who has a normal skin, or even like maybe, and it depends if it's normal oily, and then depending on the season, maybe in the summer for someone who has a normal oily skin, they would want to go with the hyaluronic acid that has a low molecular structure. And then in the winter, then they would go with one maybe for their skin type, like right there in the middle. And someone with a normal dry skin in the summer, maybe of course they would want to go with the one that is for their, like the one in the middle. And then in the winter, maybe depending on the skin type, depending on the age, of course there's a lot of factors that play into this, but then depending, they may want to go with the one that has a high molecular structure, hyaluronic acid. So again, depending on the skin type, you may want to switch it up. But for someone who has a drier skin, the best one for a dry skin type is the high molecular hyaluronic acid, which is protecting the skin and which is giving it the moisture and hydration that it needs, that it is not receiving when it is, when we are taking in 8 glasses of water or 10 glasses of water a day. So that product is going to make up for the water that it is not receiving to the skin. That is basically it when we're talking about, oh, and one more thing. So you can find them, I just want to say one more thing, just crossed my mind here. So with these, the ingredient for hyaluronic acid, you can find them in serums, you can find them in, moisturizers, and you can even find them, like some of them are even in toners and essence. But so depending on you and what your preference is, these are the products that are out there that you can find hyaluronic acid in. Also, for some, and it depends on your skin. Sometimes I've just used hyaluronic acid. I mean, not too much, but sometimes, like maybe for a month or so, simply because I'm in the skincare business. And so I like to try a lot of products. So I don't like to be away from not trying as many products as I can for too long. But I have done my thing, which simply just using serum a serum that is at a high molecular level in the summer. I would just, use that. And then, like my toner, my essence, and use that. And then sunscreen and eye cream as well. So I have done that, but like I said, not for a long purpose, simply because, I had a lot of products that I, could choose from to try. And so I wanted to try those, but just to see and just to be able to talk about this, like at a knowledge level and share with my customers and my clients and everyone else out there about how that actually works. Yes, you can actually do that. I tend to like the products are like the skin moisturizers. They are good. They are good. Like there are some brands out there that are amazing, amazing moisturizers that have hyaluronic acid in them. Uh, I tend to like the serums better. Like I said, moisturizers amazing. And it also again it depends on age. Like sometimes if you're say more mature, you want to save your serums for anti-aging purposes. Something that's going to diminish deeper lines and wrinkles. And then use a skincare like a moisturizer on top of that. Um, but maybe if you're younger, you don't mind, using the serum and then using a moisturizer to deal with whatever skin condition or type that you are dealing with. So it's just a matter of knowing your skin and understanding what works for it. So now I am finished. And that's all I have to share with you for today. And till next time, another Skincare Minute with Paulet Downey. Take care. Thank you.